Hello and good afternoon. It's been a little while. I ended up coming down with something. Um, End of October started showing symptoms uh, right at the beginning of November, and it wiped me out. According to the doctors, it wasn't COVID, it wasn't the flu, and I forget what the other thing that they tested for was, but it wasn't the other common thing, whatever it was. It was just some kind of weird random respiratory virus, and there was nothing they could do. And it has taken literally 4 months to get that out of my system. Um, so I started getting back to working on some stuff, and as I started charging the GoPros again, found that I had some footage. So today's footage is actually from November, and I had found a unusual day where I actually had enough sunshine for a few days that I was able to get out and sit on the tractor. If you notice, every now and again I am not breathing too great and have a couple of coughing fits through the video, but it is what it is. So most of the dirt work has been done, and the house site is level and it's ready to go. But I want to have this a little wider so that there's just no question, there's no issues um, with the trailers being delivered. And so I'm just starting kind of at the top of that and digging a few feet into the hill to bring that back out. And I wanted to just get this done as far as I could before the rains really started to come. Um, and I actually got pretty lucky. It started to rain. You can see there I was just looking up and checking on the clouds. Um, but it had started to rain right as I was finishing up, and I didn't get to do a very thorough job of smoothing things out. But it'll do enough. It means that when it dries out again here in another 8 weeks or so, I'll be able to get back up there and get this just completely finished off. So we'll see what things look like. Um, that's been the biggest frustration of being having some kind of a respiratory thing, because like for the most part, um, there was about a week and a half where I was actually like in bed, fully like basically disabled, um, and that was pretty crummy. But for the most part, it's been a fairly easy time until I try and do something, and then anytime I go out and start to exert myself in any way, I would just get drained and winded and struggle. So it's one of the nice things about having equipment is there's no exertion in playing with joysticks to control hydraulics. Um, so that's been good, but it's been a little frustrating. I haven't done any milling this winter. I was able to get quite a bit of milling done last winter, actually, because I'm not, unless it's a downpour. I'm not. I like the rain, so I don't mind getting a little bit damp usually. But I just haven't, trying to push the saw head and pull logs off. There's just no way I'd be able to do that. There have been some interesting developments, and we'll be able to get more details soon. But our plan was originally that we were going to try and subdivide and sell portions of the lots, but that's turned out to be a little more hassle than we thought it was worth. So we ended up deciding that we were going to just sell the second plot and use that to get a jump start on getting the equipment that we need and getting getting all the utilities and the house going. So we'll see how that goes. There's one price point based on what land around us has been selling at per acre, and then there's a lower price point based at what larger land has been selling at, which turns out people are not paying as much per acre for larger lots. So who knows? We'll see. I'll add details as they come. But we did meet with a realtor and have got all the paperwork going for that. In frustrating news, the F-150, the '08 F-150, had blown a spark plug, and I thought we had fixed it. Had a mechanic friend that had come out, and we spent quite a few hours working on that and making sure everything was running well. And as we were leaving the realtor's office just this past Wednesday, the pickup decided it wanted to blow a spark plug again, and I've got it fixed. I've got a new plug in it and a new ignition coil, because it blew out hard enough that it actually broke the previous coil, which was kind of surprising. But yeah, I don't feel like I can trust that truck. Coincidentally, it's got a weird brake issue that we can't figure out. And normally for regular driving, I'm okay with that. I had an aunt that passed away though, and I was getting ready to leave and came to the realization that I would be driving over the 3 mountain ranges to get from here to Utah, and all 3 of them were going to be covered in pretty severe winter storms. And so ABS is kind of an important feature. So I ended up not going to Utah for the funeral and missed that, which is disappointing. But it turns out that was a good thing, because based on the mileage driving to and from town, if I had gone to Utah and put those miles on the truck on my way to Utah, I would have been about an hour east of Portland when that spark plug blew. So that would have been a huge problem. That's definitely a godsend that I didn't go, unfortunately. But sadly, that means I have 3 3 trucks that all need repairs. And like I said, this one is fixed. It drives again. I don't trust it. I feel like it's going to have a problem any time. So I'm trying to sell it at this point. Although I feel that's kind of a losing endeavor, because I'm not the type of person who can hide something like that. So any prospective buyer, I'm going to be straight up and I'm going to tell them, here's the minor things that are starting to show wear. Here is the major thing that is causing a problem, and here's the ABS thing that we don't seem to know. We had I've had that looked at a couple times now, and this last time I had it at Les Schwab, and I paid them to hook their computer up and check everything out and try and reset it and see if it was, because I knew that the ABS module had to be replaced, and we got that done. and when I did that, the brake light went off, but the ABS light did not go off. So, I'm going to be up front, and the challenge is they're not buying it from us. They're buying it from the bank that we still owe $6,000 on. So, I don't know. We'll see what the future brings. Maybe if things all go well, we'll sell the other plot, and then we can just pay this off and do whatever we want with it. Sell it for whatever we can, but we shall see what that brings. So you can see now I'm getting I'm getting in the footage here closer to the bottom of the ramp now, and I'm not digging quite as deep into the hill, and I'm taking a little bit more time trying to level that off on the left side of the screen so that I can come back and smooth that all out. But I should get back into a routine of putting out some videos soon, and we've got some good footage coming up. I found some photos from when I first got the edging mill, which I've used a few times. I've got some photos of when we fell one of the cherry trees, a 90-foot tall cherry tree. That still boggles my mind. I've got some footage of playing with the truck, replacing the EGR valve, and some. We played with the idea of extracting DNA from strawberry and using that to create giant bubbles, and that was kind of a fun project. And then we've actually got on the spare room, I've got a few days worth of work there so far, where I was finally able to get out and actually do some stuff. So I got the flooring all pulled up and got some closed cell foam sprayed. So the R value of closed cell foam is 7 per inch. So the floor actually has 5.5 to 6 inches. So that's got a good, safe to say, R30 value, which will be definitely help. And then I got a couple of inches all the way around the walls and ceiling, and it's kind of amazing actually. But you could stand in one spot where you've got the insulation, and then you take a step, just one step to the side, and then into a spot where the insulation's not at, and if it's a windy day, you go from feeling comfortably warm to suddenly being cold because the wind coming through the gaps in the the roof and the in between the board and batten and whatnot. So yeah, it'll be good to get everything insulated in there. We'll keep working on that over time, but the main focus, the reason I did the center of that the spare room, and the reason for that is that we want to get the wood stove set up. We got a wood stove from the neighbors, and we're going to put that in there. So that'll be a fun project coming up in the very near future. That'll be the next step. We'll throw down some concrete and then tile that, and then put the wood stove in and get a chimney, and then I can start heating the room, and we'll see where we end up. But that'll be the end of the footage for today. So once it warms up again, there will be a little bit more widening on that road, I think, and then some just box blade work to get everything smoothed back out, and drive over it a bunch to pack it down. But we should be ready to go for for getting a house up there, and we'll start throwing some gravel down and see where we end up. So thank you for your time watching, and God bless you and yours. Hopefully you're able to stay safe and healthy out there.